A hush has fallen over Hollywood, one so thick you can almost taste the anxiety behind the scenes. Whispers about Diddy's infamous freak-off parties have escalated from mere rumor to full-blown scandal, and what was once just playful gossip now feels like a story drenched in secrets most never imagined. The headlines swirling around him are downright unsettling. Suggestions of hidden cameras, alleged blackmail, and connections to some of the most powerful figures in entertainment and politics. How does a superstar once celebrated for his drive and creativity end up at the center of such a dizzying controversy? That's exactly what we're here to uncover. Many still remember the heyday of Diddy's influence back when he was known for launching platinum-selling artists, hosting events, and redefining the meaning of a lavish lifestyle. For years, the man behind so many chart-topping hits was also recognized for throwing parties that set a new bar for celebrity extravagance. Attending one of his white parties in the Hamptons meant you'd be rubbing shoulders with A-list actors, music legends, and business moguls. Cameras usually caught glimpses of glitz, laughter, and celebration. But as the rumors have steadily grown louder, it appears there was another side to these gatherings, a hidden layer of power plays, questionable substances, and activities that would send anyone's moral compass spinning. No one can say exactly when people started whispering about freak-off parties, though some date the talk back to the early 2000s. At first, these stories sounded more like over-the-top legends, invitations only for the super party guests indulging in bizarre games, and entire nights that seemed lost to memory. Once, the sun came up, but the conversation turned more serious when Homeland Security agents allegedly showed up at Diddy's properties in both LA and Miami, apparently investigating potential sex trafficking or at least suspicious behavior worth their time. In an instant, the tone surrounding Diddy's name changed from playful curiosity to urgent scandal to sparking everything from conspiracy theories to genuine worry that something truly disturbing might be lurking beneath the glamorous facade. If you rewind the clock on Diddy's rise, you'll notice a young entrepreneur who burned with ambition from the start. He hustled in the music industry as a promoter and producer, quickly aligning himself with influential artists like Notorious B.I.G. and Mary J. Blige. His label, Bad Boy Records, became a powerhouse of hip-hop and R&B, churning out hits faster than anyone else could keep up. By the late 90s, he was a household name, known for flashy music videos, unstoppable energy, and a willingness to push boundaries both creatively and socially. The success that followed endowed him with immense wealth and an impressive network of Hollywood insiders, politicians, and even royalty. Everybody wanted to be at his parties. Everybody wanted that snapshot that proved they were in with the man of the moment. But in hindsight, this circle of influence might have also masked or enabled behaviors that most people would never approve of. At first, tales of Diddy's events felt like everyday celebrity gossip, outlandish costumes, epic dance battles, plush decor that cost more than a family home. But with time, more ominous stories surfaced, painting a picture of an orchestrated environment where nothing happened by accident. Certain accounts describe large security teams ensuring no cameras snuck in, so only approved footage and official photos ever saw the light of day. It's been speculated that in these private corners, whether an entire floor of a luxury hotel or a sprawling mansion in the Hamptons, everything from drug-fueled partying to highly explicit encounters allegedly took place. One of the more disturbing angles is the rumor that blackmail materials might have been collected from unsuspecting party guests. The idea is that hidden cameras captured explicit or incriminating activities, creating a stash of leverage for Diddy and his circle. A few insiders insist these claims are overblown or purely fictional, but for many, the possibility that even a shred of this is real is enough to cast a dark shadow. If people were truly drugged against their will or coerced into situations they would later regret, it transforms the image of a fun-loving music mogul into something far more sinister. Anonymous sources, like a certain individual rumored to be a drug supplier, tell especially alarming tales. According to them, some of these mansion parties veered into territory that rattled even the most hardened personalities. The environment, they say, could morph from a standard celebrity bash into something that felt uncomfortably exploitative, with individuals too inebriated or intimidated to escape. Allegations range from routine substance use, what you might expect in any raucous after-party, to far darker possibilities. Individuals left vulnerable, manipulated, and later threatened into silence. Plenty of celebrities have brushed up against these rumors. A-listers like Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and others get name-dropped in various online lists circulating the internet, though many remain unverified or discredited. Some stars, ironically or not, started deleting certain social media posts the moment these allegations rose to a fever pitch. Was this just a coincidence, or an attempt to distance themselves from potential backlash? Nobody knows for sure. Yet the rapid scrubbing of online footprints has only fueled speculation that if these parties had skeletons, they might not be limited to one person's closet. 50 Cent has been particularly vocal in criticizing Diddy for years, dropping cryptic hints that something about Diddy's circle felt off. Though 50 Cent is known for stirring controversy, his remarks in retrospect sound less like trivial jabs and more like actual cautionary warnings. Cat Williams, another figure unafraid to speak his mind, has also claimed that he deliberately steered clear of certain gatherings due to a gut feeling that something was off. Some folks raise eyebrows at these stories, writing them off as hearsay, but an unsettling number of names keep popping up, creating a puzzle that grows larger each time a new piece is revealed. Usher's anecdotes from his youth, for instance, have raised countless questions about what exactly was going on in Diddy's home when young artists lived under his guidance. On talk shows and interviews, Usher hinted at encountering all kinds of adult scenarios that a teenager shouldn't have been anywhere near. Likewise, Justin Bieber, who once got close to Diddy early in his career, spoke openly of dark times, personal shame, and a path that could have led him to a place he might not have come back from. Though Bieber stopped short of pointing fingers at specific individuals, fans and commentators alike can't help wondering if those difficult periods connect to the rumored commented environment surrounding Diddy's social sphere. But how does a powerful figure maintain such a hold on Hollywood for so long? Some point to Diddy's political alliances, noting that he openly supported Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and other prominent leaders. He championed voter initiatives, encouraged youth activism, and appeared side by side with influential politicians. In the public eye, he was a force for good, rallying young people to care about social issues. Behind the scenes, though, speculation suggests that these alliances shielded him from scrutiny, either because those in power had bigger fish to fry, or because Diddy proved himself too valuable an asset for certain political interests to jeopardize. He also mingled with the British royal family, partied with A-list actors, and cozied up to tech entrepreneurs, forging relationships that would be hard to unravel in a single scandal. Recent arrests, raids, and allegations of sex trafficking are what finally shattered the comfortable bubble. Homeland Security doesn't simply invade a celebrity's home on a whim. The seriousness of such an operation implies a level of suspicion that reached official channels. Though official statements are scarce likely due to ongoing investigations, this was enough for reporters and fans alike to start drawing parallels to other massive takedowns like those involving Weinstein and Epstein. In all these cases, powerful men seemed untouchable for years, protected by wealth, influence, and carefully cultivated networks. When the dam finally breaks, it becomes a deluge of hidden stories, sealed testimonies, and a public hungry for the entire truth. Still, many fans are torn. Diddy remains a cultural icon, having paved the way for countless artists, revolutionized the business side of hip-hop, and contributed to philanthropic causes. Is it possible to reconcile that legacy with the horrifying accusations of exploitation? Are we witnessing a deliberate smear campaign from rivals who want to see him fall? Or is this a moment of reckoning for a man who believed his star power rendered him immune to consequences? The internet offers no shortage of theories, ranging from government conspiracies to secret societies. But the real answers likely lie behind the carefully drawn curtains of Diddy's private life. Social media chatter has soared around the question of who else might be involved. Some fans wonder if major celebrities are lawyering up behind closed doors, terrified that any mention of them or a photograph from a freak-off could derail their careers. Others see the frantic deleting of posts and tweets as confirmation that these superstars are more than casually linked. The fact that random Instagram posts from past Diddy events have mysteriously vanished in recent months is enough to fuel rumors that a whole system of hush-hush is at play, potentially orchestrated by powerful public relations teams. Leonardo DiCaprio, for instance, was rumored to have attended a handful of these high-profile gatherings. While there's no direct evidence linking him to anything nefarious, the internet buzz soared when fans noticed that references to these events had all but disappeared from certain corners of the web. Beyoncé and Jay-Z, known to be extremely private, also remain silent regarding any speculation about Diddy's parties, fueling the gossip machines that love to connect dots, whether real or imagined. Celebrities like Paris Hilton or the Kardashian family, often front and center of any star-studded bash, have either dismissed rumors outright or refused to comment. Still, an eerie sense of caution hangs in the air, like everyone's waiting to see how far the investigation goes before they say anything that could incriminate themselves or tarnish their public image. A twist in the unfolding drama involves a list that supposedly documents individuals who attended or participated in these wild gatherings. This list, whether authentic or fabricated, surfaced online, with certain handles claiming they got it from leaked court documents or a hacked server. Names range from Howard Stern to Russell Brand, from big pop stars to lesser-known business executives. Naturally, the moment it hit social media, chaos ensued. Skeptics say it's nothing more than a hoax intended to generate clicks. Others argue that the suspicious behavior of some celebrities suddenly deactivating accounts or releasing vague statements on the ads. Credibility to the list's existence. What magnifies the intrigue is the timing of everything. Diddy's legal battles, the Homeland Security raids, and the swirl of brand new allegations all seem to converge like a perfect storm. Suddenly, the narrative isn't just about a flamboyant superstar throwing scandalous parties. It's about potential manipulation on a grand scale, hush money, coerced NDAs, and a string of people who feel they were victimized. Now, with charges like racketeering and trafficking hovering in the background, folks in the music and film industries can't help but recall other major scandals that started with whispers and ended in convictions. During all this upheaval, stories of Diddy being placed on watch for self-harm began circulating. Whether that's an official measure or just rumor is hard to verify, but it instantly conjures up parallels to the Epstein saga, where the figure at the center of a huge scandal died under questionable circumstances. Skeptical observers note how high-profile individuals sometimes face these measures to protect them from acting out too, in more conspiracy-minded circles, to prevent them from revealing too much. Regardless, the tension it creates underscores the gravity of the entire situation. LeBron James also found himself entangled in the rumor mill when a peculiar photograph began making the rounds on social media, supposedly showing him in a humiliating outfit at one of Diddy's gatherings. While many believe the image to be doctored, the timing is suspicious. Why release it just as charges against Diddy are building steam? LeBron has chosen silence, which inevitably stokes more theories. Candace Owens, a conservative commentator, questioned LeBron's willingness to speak on political matters but remain quiet on the fiasco involving his friend. As the conversation escalates, more people demand answers, wanting to know whether these allegations are part of a bigger puzzle that includes influential athletes as well as Hollywood icons. And then there are the political angles. Diddy's outspoken support of Barack Obama in 2008 and his more recent endorsement of Joe Biden placed him firmly in the public eye for reasons beyond entertainment. He championed voter education, claimed to represent the voice of his community, and curated an image that suggested moral leadership. For some, discovering that the same man might be under investigation for sex trafficking or forced exploitation is too jarring to reconcile. Yet history has shown us that public personas often differ drastically from private realities, especially in an industry where appearances are meticulously curated, that it's impossible to talk about these controversies without mentioning the names of Bill Clinton, Kamla Harris, and Hillary Clinton, all of whom, at various points, brushed shoulders with Diddy for campaign events or philanthropic galas. Again, these relationships might be entirely innocent. Politicians regularly associate with celebrities who can draw attention to their causes, but the timing and the seriousness of the allegations cast a fresh glare on every handshake, every photo op, and every public endorsement. People question whether these alliances unwittingly lent credibility to a man who may have had a dark secret life all along. Still, a portion of the public remains staunchly in Diddy's corner. His contributions to music, culture, and business are not trivial. He funded scholarships, championed social issues, and provided breakout opportunities for emerging artists. Some argue that the allegations reflect an attempt to sabotage a powerful black entrepreneur who dared to reach the same echelons as the traditionally privileged. Even among these defenders, though, there's an nagging concern that if these stories hold any truth, the moral landscape is much more complicated than hero versus villain. One person can be a groundbreaking visionary and also harm others behind closed doors. Many fans are urging patience, urging the world to wait for official investigations and legal rulings, while others feel we already have more than enough clues to draw dire conclusions. In the swirl of all this, the notion of freak-off parties has become a kind of pop culture boogeyman, an alleged environment where taboos are tossed aside, substances flow without restraint, and personal boundaries vanish under the glare of Diddy's celebrity. Adding to the eerie undertones is the repeated mention of secret rituals, where participants supposedly do things they later regret, worse, can't even recall. Some commentators draw parallels to clandestine rituals rumored in certain elite circles, painting a picture that's half real, half urban legend, yet wholly captivating to a society both fascinated and repulsed by extreme opulence. If these gatherings were as debauched and manipulative as certain insiders claim, how did they remain hidden for so long? The answer might lie in the same old combination of fear, hush money, and mutual benefit. anyone who had a stake in continuing. Diddy's success record labels, brand partners, other celebrities had little incentive to blow the whistle. Those who might have questioned the moral ramifications risked blacklisting or legal retaliation. And if rumors of covert filming or photo evidence are true, potential whistleblowers might have known exactly what they stood to lose by speaking out. It's an ugly scenario, reminiscent of how Harvey Weinstein's alleged activities remained an open secret for decades until the collective condemnation finally drowned out the protective network around him. As the dust starts to settle, the bigger question becomes, where do we go from here? Diddy's entire Empire music label, vodka brand, fashion line, and philanthropic ventures could be at stake if the allegations are proven in court, and the domino effect might not stop with him. Every superstar who partook in questionable sessions, every politician who found themselves in questionable photographs, and every bystander who knew and said nothing may have their own reckoning. Hollywood thrives on reinvention, second chances, and cyclical redemption arcs, but certain lines, if crossed, can't simply be forgiven or explained away. It also raises the question of whether we as a society have finally grown tired of enabling celebrities to operate by a different moral code. Social media has democratized the conversation, allowing everyday people to keep the spotlight on controversies that might once have been glossed over by PR teams. Investigations no longer rely solely on tabloids or mainstream networks. Citizen, journalists, podcast hosts, and independent bloggers all weigh in, amplifying the discussion. Perhaps that's why this time, the scandal didn't fade in a few news cycles. It continues to escalate, pulling in more names and fueling an online fervor, determined to uncover every last detail. It's worth considering that even now, in the midst of public scrutiny, there might be more behind-the-scenes maneuvering to keep the ugliest truths from emerging. Lawyers could be negotiating hush settlements. High-profile personalities might be preparing carefully orchestrated statements that acknowledge minimal responsibility while deflecting the worst accusations. PR experts could be working around the clock to craft narratives that paint Diddy as misunderstood or a victim of envy, while simultaneously burying actual evidence of wrongdoing. But as any major scandal in the modern era has taught us, the internet does not forget. Once a suspicion is floated, it can balloon into a phenomenon with extraordinary staying power, particularly if new tidbits of information or personal testimonies keep surfacing at just the right time. For now, it appears that Diddy's story is far from over. He remains a pivotal figure in an unfolding saga that's equal parts enthralling, disturbing, and revealing. Even though the immediate focus is on him, the ramifications and underlying themes, power imbalances, the corrupting influence of immense wealth, the vulnerability of up-and-coming artists speak to much broader problems within the entertainment industry. Countless young hopefuls strive for their break, often placing their trust in gatekeepers who wield near-limitless sway. If these gatekeepers misuse their position, the harm can be catastrophic, both personally and professionally. As we await the next major development, some are reminded of the old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. Could the swirl of allegations be just that smoke, with no real flame behind it? Or are we witnessing the first real signs that the entire tower of secrets built around Diddy's parties is about to collapse? The only certainty is that the conversation has moved far beyond the realm of casual celebrity news. These investigations and testimonies are now moral, legal, and cultural flashpoints, challenging the idea that superstars can hide anything indefinitely. In the end, this scandal may force the entertainment world to ask if it wants to keep playing along with an unspoken code of silence. If the rumors hold weight, then unveiling them fully might be the only way to protect vulnerable individuals from becoming pawns in someone else's power game. The industry has often turned a blind eye to morally questionable activities, so long as the hits kept coming and the cash kept flowing. But perhaps the tide is turning, and a new generation of artists, journalists, and audiences demand better accountability for everyone, no matter how famous or charismatic they might be. Until that accountability arrives, we're left with a haunting chain of what-ifs. What if justice never materializes because of behind-the-scenes deals? What if more victims remain silent, too afraid or ashamed to speak up? And what if even the darkest rumors are just the tip of an iceberg that no one is fully prepared to confront? These questions linger, and they're exactly what keep people glued to every fresh update, every leaked detail, every cryptic social media post. No single video or article will unravel this entire twisted web, but it's enough to know the cracks are visible and light is starting to shine through. Even if Diddy manages to emerge legally unscathed, the public's perception of him and of other high-profile figures implicated in these rumors may be irrevocably changed. The bigger conversation revolves around whether the days of hush-hush celebrity enclaves are coming to an end. In a world now dominated by smartphones and instant sharing, it's increasingly difficult for anything truly incriminating to stay hidden forever. So, how will this saga resolve? Will the official legal process corroborate these claims of coercion, blackmail, and orchestrated secrecy, or will it end in a settlement that keeps the dirtiest laundry buried? For now, the story stands on the razor's edge. We're left with the uneasy realization that for years, the line between entertainment, legend, and moral compromise was blurred by money, fame, and unspoken pacts. If any definitive truth emerges, it may well reshape how we perceive celebrity culture and whether we continue to idolize individuals who, behind closed doors, might be orchestrating parties very different from what their fans imagine. Ultimately, the question remains, will we treat these revelations as just another tabloid sensation or as an urgent wake-up call? The answer might depend on how deep the investigations go and how many insiders, survivors, and facilitators step forward to testify. Perhaps the day will come when we look back at this moment as the pivotal time when secrets that shaped careers, relationships, and entire industries finally came tumbling into the light. Until then, the tension lingers, the rumors swirl, and the illusions built around one man's epic success hang precariously in the balance gauge between what the world once celebrated and what it can no longer ignore. Let this story serve as a reminder that we should never accept a curated image at face value. Power can corrupt, wealth can shield dark truths, and the glitz of Hollywood can disguise tragedies that are anything but glamorous. When the cameras stop rolling and the party lights dim, all that's left is the reality beneath. And in Diddy's world, if the rumors are to be believed, that reality is something very few of us would want to witness firsthand. If there's more to uncover, it may surface sooner than we think. Because once the spark of suspicion ignites, it's almost impossible to contain. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on the complexities of these allegations. What does it say about an industry that celebrates image but rarely probes the shadows behind it? Think about how often stories like this have surfaced, only to fade for lack of evidence or public pressure. This time, the stakes might be higher. High-profile raids, hush-hush lists, and terrified witnesses paint a picture that could reshape our understanding of both Diddy and the entertainment world at large. The story isn't just about one man, it's about the system that potentially let him and others like him operate without consequence. Keep your eyes open for the next bombshell, because if history tells us anything, this is just the beginning. And there you have it, a labyrinth of allegations and half-revealed truths that extend far beyond typical celebrity rumor. The seeds of controversy, once planted, have grown into an enormous, tangled vine wrapping around some of the biggest names in Hollywood, music, and politics. One thing is certain, no matter how this plays out, people will be talking about Diddy's Freakoffs, secret tapes, and the potential blackmail for years to come. Only time will tell if the full scope of this saga is ever laid bare. For now, consider yourself warned. Behind the glamour of those iconic parties lies a narrative that's anything but shiny.